All right, folks, so here we go. So before you guys jump into this video, make sure you have gone and checked out how to find your RTT niche. I've actually left that link to that video on our YouTube channel just below this video, because without it, this isn't going to make much sense. If you've heard me talk about things like MOS, overall transformation before, and you've maybe watched some of our videos where I've talked about that, you're in the right place. This is fine. But if you have no idea what I'm talking about, please go check out that video, because it's going to make a lot more sense and give you a lot more value by watching this video second. So guys, as you can see, if you have watched the first video, I am taking you behind the scenes again of our 100K coaching program. This is just an extension of what we talked about last time. And we did talk a little bit about price in regards to the MOS, but now I want to give you some finite details about how we price on long-term value, overall transformation, and the value that gets provided from the results of the session we work with now well into the future. Because here's the thing. Most coaches, therapists, RTT practitioners, all of the above, tend to price their services on the result that's immediate. And that's the first thing. We have to do this. So what do I mean by this? Client comes in and says, Scott, I want to quit smoking. I say, great. Not only am I going to fix the smoking, so I've got to fix this initial thing because that's what I'm pricing on. But this is where this can also go bad for us in long-term success in our business. If we're only pricing on the immediate thing that we're creating, we're not pricing things on the future and long-term value of the result we're going to give them today. Because there's one thing we all know as therapists and coaches. When we fix one problem, what tends to happen? Well, just like a domino effect, how you line up dominoes and you push them all down, other things, positive things and positive breakthroughs happen as a result of the initial thing that we fix. So I know, for example, working with so many smokers, that once I fix the smoking thing, the health's going to improve. If they had an insomnia problems, that's going to go away and improve. They're going to become like a role model for their kids if that was part of their goal. Their skin and their teeth and the way they taste food is going to increase. Their self-confidence without having a cigarette smell is going to start to increase. And we can create a laundry list of these things. We go into a lot more detail in the entire program, which you're seeing now. But right now, all you have to understand is, guys, for every result that gets created and our client experiences as a byproduct to the first thing that they're paying for, we need to charge for that. Because let's say we're raising our prices, and let's say you've heard me say, Scott, you know, I'm only charging $100 a session or $100 with a client. You're telling me to charge $1,500, $2,500, $5,500. How are your students doing that? Well, this is exactly how they're doing it. They're making their clients aware of the lifetime value that working with them at such a small price, what seems small if you extend it into the future, will do for them. Where most therapists and coaches will charge on the immediate thing. And if that's too expensive, the client's going to look at it and say, what, I'm only going to quit smoking. It's going to cost me $1,000. I can go down the road and get it for $100. I'll just go there instead. Why does this happen? Because you're not alleviating the client to the long-term and future benefit of working with you. And today I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. So if you watched the previous video, you'll be very aware of the thing we call the MOS, which is the minimum optimum service. So now let's get clear on your pricing with your MOS. So let's dive in. So guys, you may remember this from before, but if you're new, let me just run you through this. Why they fail, which is the other therapists and coaches that are not following this process. This transformation phase and what you're selling is the most important aspect in the success of your business and what everybody gets wrong. Soon I'll be introducing something called the MOS. We already did that in the previous video, guys, and this will give you a reason why most people fail. What we're taught by gurus is to basically, guys, I'll just recap this quickly, is to just work with any customer in any niche, in any price, and basically just hope for the best. Hope we get enough back-to-back clients to run our businesses. And the reason this is the case is because therapists and coaches are not only not charging an overall transformation and lifetime value, but they're also selling packages, programs, sessions, hours, and things. Now, you should be familiar with that, guys. We went over that in the last video, but I just want to refresh your guys' mind to know where we are. All right. So remember, guys, I've said this 1,000 times. I really want to make this crystal clear. Keep it simple. Clients hire a hypnotherapist or a coach to take them from their current situation to their desired situation. Current situation, desired situation, pain, pleasure. Okay. And this, guys, is what we're charging for. So what we have to do as an extension to what you guys learned last time is how do we jam pack the value in this? How do we get beyond just charging for the, okay, you'll quit smoking working with me, or you'll have a better relationship after working with me, or you'll overcome your anxiety by working with me? How do we extend that so far into the future so your client sees numerous benefits and then looks at your price and realizes, hey, that's actually quite cheap? Whereas if you're basically just giving them one thing like stop smoking, what are they going to judge? Just the one thing. They're going to look at that and say, why the hell would I pay $1,500 for that one thing? However, if we make it crystal clear that as a result of quitting smoking with me, this will happen, and you'll get this, and you'll experience this, and you'll feel this, and we extend that so far into the future and make their future seem so valuable, and then have them recall the price, it seems cheap to them. Because remember, our clients are only judging our price on the information that we give them. If we don't fill them in with the information that happens in the future, they've got every right to say we're expensive. Okay? So what does this actually look like? Well, guys, here's the new pricing model with the MOS, minimum optimum service. So the MOS model. From this day forward, you will commit to only charging for one thing, guys: overall transformation. By pricing on overall transformation, you are charging for the end result, not the time with you. As we've said several times, not the time with you. You're not selling RTT. You're not selling coaching. You're not selling hours in the chair. You're not selling programs. You're not selling packages. Those things are how you get that person to the end result. Those things, if we look back at this, those things, the programs, the sessions, the time, the hours, how you do things is here. That gets them to here. But we don't sell this thing. We don't sell this because we want to sell this. This is where all the emotion is. This is just details and logic. And we know the mind doesn't work in logic as far as a sale. It has to be emotionally drawn towards a sale, and they justify it later logically. So how we do things, guys, is up to us. But we're going to sell this. All right, so the new pricing model, the MOS, as I said, from this day forward, guys, commit to yourself to only charging for one thing: overall transformation. By pricing your overall transformation, you are charging for the result, not the time with you. So the MOS has a time variance. Clients would not only be happy to pay for their result, end result, guys, but they'll also be happy to pay for more of their problem to be relieved quicker. Time. We talked about this in the previous video, but it comes up here as well. Time. The quicker you can create a breakthrough for your clients, guys, the more money you can charge. We call this MOS. No client has ever said, I want you to take your time to fix my problem, Scott. No client has ever said that to me. Clients will always pay more for a quicker result. M stands for minimum. O stands for optimum. Service is what you provide. What's the minimum amount of time that you can spend with a client to create the optimum service? Minimum time for you. Minimum effort your client has to put in. Minimum pain. Minimum everything. Minimum time, sessions, hours, all of that stuff to create the optimum service, which is how you do it. So mastering the MOS. As we charge per overall transformation, we want to create an offer that can produce the quickest results possible for a client. So understanding the MOS, I'll give you the definition. Minimum, the least or smallest amount of quantity possible, attainable, or required. Optimum, most conducive to a favorable outcome, which is the best. Service, the action of helping or doing work for someone. Putting this all together, this is how I define it. A product or service that has the least amount of moving parts, least amount of homework, guys, least amount of sessions, least amount of time and features and confusion that will solve a big problem quickly. The least amount of us, the least amount of time, the least amount of work as possible to satisfy our clients' desires and solve a problem quick. Okay? Let's imagine I put you next to another therapist. You guys both have the same price, both $1,500, for example. Both are helping the same type of client with the same niche. You're doing everything the same, almost identical. You're just a different person. And you have one client standing in front of you. You stand there and say, I can help you solve X, Y, and Z for $1,500, and it will take me 2 hours of your time to overcome your anxiety. Therapist next to you says, I can do the same thing for $1,500. However, it'll take me 7 hours plus 2 weeks of homework. You get a ticket to my event, and you have to call me every second day to see how, I have to call you every second day to see how you are. and we need to catch up every third week after I finish with you for the rest of your life. Okay, now I know that's a bit of an exaggeration, but do you see my point? Who do you think the client's going to go with? We could even say that you are charging twice the amount, so $3,000 for 2 hours, or $1,500 for what seems about 4 to 5 months worth of work. Okay, value comes in the speed. Okay, and that's what I want you guys to wrap your mind around. So perceived value. This is where therapists and coaches and myself for such a long time, we got this really wrong. We think value, when I talk about raising prices, and I'll get to what they are, and the long-term transformation we can create and things like this, we think perceived value is like this. We think, well, clients are not going to pay a higher price if I give them less. That's logically what it looks like. But the actual opposite happens. Perceived value is in the eye of the beholder. So what you start to believe is, well, if I'm going to raise my prices, it means I've got to give more sessions and more time with the therapist. They think this is value. People also think that it's more homework and product, audios and diaries. They believe this is value, like things, I'm giving things. More checkups and confirmation. They believe this is value. Longer healing and more techniques. They believe this is value. More visits and more repeat sessions, like this is value. And this is not value, because it comes down to this, the example I gave before. Just imagine this. You have an infected tooth and are in a lot of pain. A dentist said it will take him 20 minutes to completely heal you and make your mouth, teeth, and gums 100% healthy and clean, but the price is $2,500. Ask yourself, is 20 minutes of work for you worth $2,500? Put yourself in that scenario. Or you can go to another dentist that says it will take 7 visits at 1 hour, so 7 hours altogether for $1,000. Which one do you pick? Okay, well, if you understand perceived value, if you're in a lot of pain, you want things done now, you don't want to wait, well, obviously you're going to go for the 20-minute healing if it offers the same thing in a shorter amount of time. And this is the mindset, guys, we have to go into when pricing our services. Okay, the value comes in speed. Okay, the price with the speed and long-term value, future value, which I'm going to get to very, very soon, put that together and you have the winning formula. So high price MOS, only talk to customers about the transformation and the results they will experience, not what you'll do for them, not about how long it will take, what methods you use, not the features, no, the end result. Price on value of transformation, not the time, sessions, bonuses, hows, or what. If you fix the problem in half an hour, don't charge for half the session rate. You charge the full rate because it's a results rate. Always aim to cut time and exceed results, but never undercharge, never. The quicker your transformation becomes, the more impact you can create in a client's life, increase the price. So what's really, really, I think is really just absolutely awesome, because our students follow this, and what you guys see a lot of, especially with their testimonials and things, these guys started, when I said first raise their price, they maybe jumped from, I don't know, $300 with a client to now $1,000. Okay, and that was a big jump for them. Over time, working with our niche, they started to get really good. They started to show a lot of value. Their clients were seeing quicker results. And then they raised their price to $1,500. Now, it sort of seems like an intermediate jump, but in the price of, therapists and coaches, sounds like a lot, an extra $500. Really, Scott, can they do that? What happens is, and absolutely, yes, they do that. What happens is the clients now see more value, because now your marketing is about, I can add time and speed to this. Okay, in the past, you used to better help clients in this amount of time. Now I can do it in this amount of time, but my price is a little bit higher. So what was really cool, and I talked to a lot of my students about this, and they're just dumbfounded how this actually works, because in logic, it doesn't seem right. They started off with $1,000 and clients were saying, yeah, that's fine. I can make that work. Now they're at $2,500 and clients aren't even battering an eyelid. There's no objections, because the student is so confident in the result that they can create, is so confident about talking about not the immediate issue they're going to help with, but the future results. The lifetime value of paying $2,500 now is going to change your life for all of the immediate future and the long-term future. Because as a result of working with me now, paying $2,500, you're going to fix your anxiety. And then as a result of fixing anxiety, what else do you think is going to occur? This is going to happen. You get more confidence here. Your life is going to change here. This will happen. This will happen. This. And it's like they paint the perfect picture of everything that client secretly desires. And you can do this when you understand your market inside out. But painting this perfect future for their client, and obviously giving it to them, guys. You can't just say this and not give it to them. That by the time the client snaps out of this little trance type metaphor that you've just created for them, they look at the price and go, wow, that's going to affect my whole future. 2.5 grand is nothing. But if you're charging 2.5 grand to say stop smoking and that's it, they're going to go to a $50 therapist, $100 therapist, because you're only pricing on the immediate. You want to price and offer some sort of speed as an effect, but future value. Guys, you want to start learning to talk about future value. You want to start even inspiring your potential customers with previous customers and telling them how their whole life and total life changed as a result of seeing you. And work that into your future. Work this into the conversation you have with clientele, because this will break down all objections, especially when it comes to price. So lastly, only include the bare minimum of you. The more you give, the give of you, the more features and more moving parts you give, the more it becomes a full-time job just with one client. Okay. And what's weird is, like, let's say we use this more model. Like, I'll give my clients more sessions, more hours, more things. Okay. And you extend their breakthrough over longer periods of time. If we distribute your higher cost, let's say you jump from 150 to 1,500, but you've done the more instead of the less. If we distribute that $1,500, which in your hand is more now, over the longer term, because you've stretched it out, all the extra email catch up, all the extra session, all the extra work, we distribute that over the future. What happens? You end up earning less over the lifetime with your clientele than you would have when you had a lower price. That's what you need to start to think about. And this isn't even talking about the economics of a business. We'll get into that in another video. Running a business can't work like this, guys. So the only reason therapists give so many bonuses is because they're hiding the fact their results are weak. So I see therapists and coaches do this a lot. You want to be confident in what you do, guys. This makes getting results harder than what it needs to be. If you look at the best therapists in the world, they hardly do a thing with clients. They don't really use techniques, patterns, or fancy name strategies. They get better results in half the time than all the other therapists around. Don't cut your arm off, guys, and give that to your clients too. Don't worry. I used to be that therapist. It was all about giving more, especially when I started to get my first couple of $1,500 clients. I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, I want to, bring up the value. I want them to see all the value. And I started giving them so much stuff, and they didn't need it. They didn't want it. And actually could have harmed the success of my sessions. What my clients want, and what all your clients want, and what human beings want now is results. If clients are in pain, they will pay for results now, not a month from now, not 2 months from now. They want it now. So MOS pricing, overall transformation. So before you decide on your price, I've got this in here, guys, but it's not part of what I'm talking about now, but it is part of our program. So, we give something called a TM metrics worksheet. You know what? I might make another video about this, and this will help you justify your prices. It will help you look and forecast your business over several months according to strategy calls and pricing and stuff like this. I thought I took this out of this presentation, but still, regardless, I'll make another video for that next time. And I'm going to show you guys how you can forecast your business, how you can put things in place for 30-day action plans. I'll make that video for you guys. So just leave that with me. I thought I took that part out, but that's fine. So let's look at this, your price. Now that you know what you need to be charging to achieve your monthly income, basing on what you want to be earning per month and per year, I want to show you what an overall transformation process looks like. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not going to give you the overall transformation worksheet because it is part of our program, of our 100K coaching program. It's for our students, our paid students in our program. But I will walk you through this, guys, okay, and show you what this looks like in real time. All right, so let's look at my MOS evolution. So this is how it started for me, guys. So I'm not just up here preaching something that I've just randomly made up. I've lived and breathed this thing, guys. I've seen thousands of therapists and coaches over the last 2 to 3 years of me doing this, do this, and get blown away by how much money they make so quickly. So in switching to the MOS model, it will be impossible to tell how long it will take for an overall transformation. So let me bring this up because a lot of people have concerns about this. They say, Scott, if I'm not selling sessions or hours and I'm selling the end result, what happens if my client asks me, how long will it take? Like, how long do I have to see you? And this is a great question. This is the conversation I have with my clients. I would tell them, hey, it's $1,500 now. And client says, well, how long will that take? And I say, look, let's get the first let's get the first session. Let's just use that session model. Let's get the first session done with it. Our first time together. Let's get that done and then assess what happens next. Let's concentrate on getting your goal and the end result quickly. That is my goal with you, client, to get your end result as quickly as possible. Are you okay with that? Client says yes. So I want to distract them from, oh, it's going to be an hour here, then 2 hours there. You won't know this stuff. Over time, however, of working with this niche for such a long time, guys, you'll be able to predict how long it'll take. And this is where you go next level. This is actually part of one of our scaling strategies. When you can add a time variance to your marketing, when you can be confident and say, hey, I can help you quit smoking on your lunch break, where I got to, which I'll talk about soon. And you become so goddamn confident that every time a client comes in on a lunch break, it's going to happen. You reach a next level of expertise and you go from just semi-confident to so unbreakably confident that your clients see it, hear it, and understand and justify to themselves why you're so expensive, but they see it in you, okay? So just have that conversation with your clientele to say, hey, let's get the first part done and let's go from there. My goal is to get you your end result, this end result that you wanted from me as quickly as possible. Are you okay with that? Of course a client is, okay? So, and this is to be expected, guys, right at the start. But over time of working with your niche, you'll refine your process and you can begin predicting the length of time. So here's my MOS evolution, guys. Start of my career, my overall transformation was about $300. I didn't even know what overall transformation was back then. Okay, I hadn't created it yet, which is about 2 to 3 sessions, about $100 each. That's roughly what it would take. And that's the normal model we're all taught. Then I started to understand this overall transformation thing. I started to see what was happening to some of my clients and I formulated this idea together. The middle of my career, I jumped from 300 up to 1,000. And I concentrated on only talking to clients about the result, not how long. And roughly it would take me 1 or 2 sessions, $1,000. If I saw at the end of the session, there was a couple of things left, I'd tell a client, hey, just to be sure, come and see me not tomorrow, the day afterwards, just for a quick half-an-hour chat, or I'll call you over Zoom and we'll finish it off there. It's just a couple of things we didn't get to touch on today. You okay with that? Awesome. Okay. So that was the middle of my career. When I reached the peak of my career, when I was so confident in my ability, because I've seen smoker after smoker after smoker, hence why we niche so you can get good at one thing. My overall transformation was $1,500 and the time was during your lunch break. I ended up working with lawyers in their lunch break to quit smoking. And that's what I became known for. I would have people calling me every day saying, I want to book in my lunch break. Lunch break, lunch break, lunch break. Why? Because that's what my market kept telling me. I happened to get all these lawyers coming in and their biggest issue wasn't necessarily the price. It became a time thing, okay? Time and speed. They said, I don't have any time because I work 12 to 15 hour days, any time to quit smoking, but I want to do this. How long will it roughly take? And I'd have that conversation, say, well, it depends, the normal conversation I have. And then a couple of clients kept saying to me, I only have my lunch break free. Is that enough? And I had to swallow my pride and say, yes. Obviously a lot more confident than that. I said, yes. So I dived in the deep end. I had no choice but to make it work. There's a lot of business strategy in that statement there. You dive in, make it work. And then over time, it just happens. It's like your unconscious mind switches on and I started trimming the fat off my sessions. Sessions got shorter. They got more profound because I was way more confident. And my clients looked at it and said, man, you're only charging $1,500 for this. I would literally pay you 10 times the amount. That was a common occurrence because I'd painted the future. I told them, we're not just working on the smoking now, client. All of this other stuff is going to be included in what we do today. So remember, this is what your future is going to look like without the smoking. And I say $1,500 and they couldn't get their credit cards out quick enough. And they were telling me I would pay 10 times the amount. I had clients contact me years afterwards, still telling me great things are happening and I need to charge more. It's good when you hear lawyers tell you that. But that's the MOS evolution, guys. So as a hypnotherapist or a coach, your goal should always be to trim the fat from your sessions and refine your process. I noticed with each session that I could take out parts of the process I was taught and results are more profound. Now, we talked about this in the previous video of how to find your niche, but that's just a recap. Over more time, I was only doing about a quarter of the work from what I used to be taught, guys. I was taught by a psychotherapy mentor, what he taught me to do. And my results were more profound than when I was doing a lot more. My price grew as my process became faster. So a real example of this, one of our students, Harry, he charges $2,500, guys, for one anxiety session. It used to be $1,000 for 3, roughly. Just want to give you that time variance so you can see the context of sessions. So 3 bits of time with Harry was about $1,000. Then he got quicker. more profound. Clients were getting blown away by his results because he was getting so good as a therapist, $2.5 grand. And people are lining up to see him. Big difference, guys, than $75 here, $1,200 here, and I'll work with you for the next 3 months straight. No, business can't run this way. So that's the MOS evolution, guys. So now the last thing I want to touch on, guys, is payment plans. You might be thinking, well, Scott, I get it, but what happens when it comes down to payment plans? So guys, let me introduce you to some economics when it comes to your business, okay? So payment plans, here's my view on them. Payment plans are the scourge of any business and should only be made available in limited cases. In week 2, this is week 2 of our program, we talk about how to break down the payment plans in a lot more detail because we're giving our students a script. We also give them what's called an overall transformation value deck that we actually, when we're doing our strategy calls with our clients, guys, what we teach our students to do is they actually share their screen on a strategy call. And I've created what's called a value deck, and it shows the lifetime value. It shows all the things they're going to be getting as a result of working with this client. So I've made like a presentation for our students. And again, this helps them close more deals as well. But it's further from what we're going here. But I do want to just touch on this payment plan stuff. It can be very difficult to juggle too many payment plans, guys. Money and cash. Money or cash is the only resource to grow a business. That's the bottom line. Not likes, shares, people thinking you're awesome. We need money in the business, guys. Cash and revenue. Cash, no payment plans. Revenue is payment plans. We want more cash than revenue. Is the only resource to grow a business. You need to drive the business with this cash, buy supplies, pay rent, overheads, guys. You've got families to look after. If you're starting out in business, even when you're moving through business, if you're giving away free sessions, guys, if you're giving away free 5-day challenges, free packages, free coaching, you are doing your business a disservice. Because how long can you give free away for before your bills need paid? You didn't become a therapist or a coach or RTT practitioner by free or by giving something away free. They didn't give it to you for free. You had to pay. Your goal as a therapist or a coach is to demand cash into your business immediately. And I'm showing you how to do this. You have to take that leap of faith, guys, to drive cash into your business. Because if you go days, weeks, months without cash, what happens to your bills? They don't stop. You don't take your bills to the bank or something like that and just give them something for free. Say, hey, I'll swap you this $1,000 mortgage bill for a free hypnosis session. Never going to happen. So guys, take your RTT or therapy or coaching hat off. Start looking at this as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. It can be quite a switch for some people, but you have to if you want to remain in demand in business or you want to sink in business, really the choice of yours. So with payments plans, guys, what we teach our students is there's a rule of thumb. I do this in my business too. Out of every 10 clients, only allow 2 payment plans, 20% of your entire revenue. Okay, so each month only allow 2 payment plans. Why? Because payment plans are tough to fight, guys. They're tough to forecast a business, grow a business. They're also really tough to chase. No matter how good your contracts are or T's and C's with your clients are, the client just doesn't want to pay. They just won't pay. It's that simple. So how do we break down payment plans? Well, if you're breaking down payments plans for any less than $1,000, your business is going to suffer. I know there's some therapists and a coach, and it's so unfortunate because they just don't see what's going to happen in the future. Breaking down like a 10 split payment plan for a $250 stop smoking session, like ridiculous. You can't survive off collecting $25 a month. How are you going to pay your bills? What happens if a client doesn't show, it doesn't want to pay? What happens if they forget to pay? What if they just ignore you and block you? You're now left out in the dry and you've got bills to pay. So what we use is what's called a full pay, which is an incentive-based pricing, pay in full. And they receive a discount by paying today. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this. We talk about this in heavy amount of detail on week 2 of our 100K coaching program. But for now, you want to give your client the full price and also, offer them some sort of incentive for buying now, like a better spot in your diary, a little bit of a discount, something that not giving them something extra, but something where they can see the value now, like they have to do it now. The next is we have like a 2 split. Now, let's say with a 2 split, you want to increase the price just a little bit. So you want to have like a total of like $1,200. So you could do $600 now to secure the booking. You do this at the end of the strategy call and $600 due in 7 days. Now, If your MOS is getting so good that you can only get things down to one session, it's going to be very hard to chase that payment plan. Okay, that's why we want to avoid these as much as possible. Gets even tougher when you do a 3 split. So for a 3 split, I want to put the price right up, have a big jump. And let's say it's $600 to secure the booking now, $600 during 7 days, and the other $600 during the 7 days afterwards. You better hope you have some very nice clients to be able to do this. Okay, chasing payment plans can become a full-time job. You do not want to spend your time doing this. That's why you want to understand future value. You have to learn how to sell your end result and the future value. So clients don't bother with a payment plan. They just jump straight into, yep, I'll pay $1,000 right now because I want what you're offering. So payment plans are easy to split if you know in advance that your MOS will take 2 to 5 sessions. If you haven't got the MOS down, it still takes 2 to 5 sessions. You can get away with good payment plans. If your MOS is down to 1 session, which is what you should be aiming for so you can bring your price up, do not offer a payment plan as there's no way to enforce them. If a client can't afford it, guys, unfortunately, that's life. I know we all want to help everybody. I did too. But when running a business, it's just not possible. Okay, so a session with me was $1,500 to quit smoking your lunch break, pay in full, pay on the strategy call. Like at the end of the strategy call, I offer them my service, talk about the price, talk about the long-term value they're going to get with me. And it's, how do you want to pay? $1,500, take it through on the card. No cash or payment plan all the day, or no cash or payment on the day. So clients don't pay you when they show up because clients forget their wallet for some reason. Clients forget to do a bank transfer for some reason. Clients want to pay you in cash, like $5 and $10 bills for some reason, and it's extremely messy. So guys, avoid payment plans. Ultimately, what I can encapsulate this entire part of the training is, in the video I have for you today, is understanding this, selling this, the immediate result and the future long-term value. Understanding this, being able to talk to your clients and clearly articulate what their future is going to be like while working with you, and they're just adding a price to it. Not allowing them just to say, what, $1,500 just for this one thing? No way in the world am I paying that. Because if that's the case, you're not showing the value and you're going to miss every single time. So guys, that's it for me today. Hopefully that was informative. Hopefully you got a lot from that. If you have any questions at all, comment in the comment box below or in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer these questions. If you haven't connected with me on Facebook, just go find Scott Jansen. I'm sure you guys all know what I look like. Big dorky guy with the glasses. Connect me to my personal page, guys, because that's where we do all our marketing and our business, from our personal page or my personal page. Reach out to me, send me a personal message, and I'm always happy to answer those questions. If you want to work with me, if you want to find out more about this 100K coaching program, if you want to book a free 45-minute strategy call with me and take a deep dive into your business, your marketing, your niche, your price, the overall transformation that you're creating, how you're growing the business, how you're getting clients, and everything in between, we are offering 45-minute strategy calls to everybody listening to this video as a thank you for watching this video and the support you guys have been showing us for all the videos we're creating, which shows me that you're loving this stuff. Please book a strategy call with me. I'll leave a link in the description. I'll have it as like free strategy call with Scott. I would love to connect with you, love to help you, love to be talking on that strategy call and finding the best way for you to smash your business goals, especially moving to 2020 and beyond. So guys, that's all for me today. Make sure you check out the previous video to this. There's a link and another link in the description. There's going to be a lot of links in that description. Enjoy these 2 videos, put them together, and now you have a clear understanding of how you can change the very nature of your business starting today into a very successful future. So that's all for me today, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe this video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.